What is up, my Pika crew? This is the ThePikaWu, and welcome to another black and white Wi-Fi battle. This one's going to be a VGC match. I had this battle at the international Wi-Fi competition, so it wasn't in person, but it was still a online tournament, and it was against a guy called Fatum, who is a Germany player. His ranking was very high up there, and this was an amazing match. But before we look into the team preview, I just wanted to say I apologize for the lack of uploads recently. The main reason why was I was swamped with a lot of work, but I am pretty much free now, so I will upload at the minimum one video per week on Sunday, and I will most likely post more than one video a week for the next 2 to 3 months. So all of the movesets, EV spreads, and the battled replayer is going to be in a link below, so I recommend you guys check that out after the battle for more details about the match. So looking at the team preview, I brought a Garchomp, Scrafty, Ludicolo, and Cresselia, while my opponent brought Volcarona, Salamence, Gastrodon, and Scizor. Overall, I feel like I have the team disadvantage because I see a lot of problems with this matchup for me. Volcarona can essentially 2-hit KO my entire team with either Bug Buzz or a Fire-type move. I also have nothing to resist Salamence's Draco Meteor, so a Dragon Gem boosted Draco is going to hit anything on my team extremely hard, even my specially defensive Ludicolo or my specially defensive Scrafty. Gastrodon will also be very hard to take down when my Ludicolo faints, and Scizor hits my team hard with super effective Bug Bite that can pretty much 1-hit KO my Ludicolo and 2-hit KO my Cresselia, and it also carries priority Bullet Punch, which is very threatening to my Garchomp. So my main goal here is to take down the Volcarona. Afterwards, his team loses a lot of offensive capability. What I mean by that is that the rest of the Pokemon aren't as threatening as the Volcarona because my Garchomp outspeeds the Salamence, so I can deal with the Salamence. Gastrodon really can't do anything aside from walling because it doesn't carry Toxic. It won't be able to take down my Cresselia. And then my Garchomp outspeeds the rest of his Pokemon, and even though he has priority Bullet Punch on a Scizor, I should be able to keep it in check if I keep my Scrafty alive and exploit my Intimidate ability to reduce its physical attack. Overall, I do have some sort of plan going in, but it's going to be very difficult, especially with that Volcarona lurking around. So I hope you guys enjoy this battle, and it was really intense, so yeah, enjoy. So I'm going to lead off with my Garchomp and Scrafty. I lead off with my Garchomp because it can outspeed pretty much anything on my opponent's side, and I lead off with my Scrafty because I can fake out first turn and then render one of my opponent's Pokemon useless for that turn, while at the same time I can activate the Intimidate ability early on in the match. Unfortunately for me, he leads off with 2 special attackers, so my Intimidate ability is going to be pretty much useless. On his side though, he has a Salamence and a Volcarona, so his Intimidate is going to be effective because it weakens both my Scrafty and Garchomp. But even with that -1 attack, I want to hit that Volcarona hard with Stone Edge to scout if he has the Focus Sash item or a safe switch in against Stone Edge. So I'm going to go for the fake out against the Salamence to flinch him so he can't do anything against my Garchomp, like go for a Draco Meteor, while I attempt to deal with this Volcarona and deal heavy damage to the Stone Edge. But unfortunately for me, he is going to switch into Gastrodon as I go for the Stone Edge, so overall nothing big happened that turn. Now that he has his Gastrodon out, I'm pretty afraid of the Ice Beam with Garchomp, and I don't want to take unnecessary damage. Plus, my -1 attack means that I cannot take down the Salamence with a Dragon Claw, so I'm actually going to bring in my Ludicolo to take the predicted Ice Beam, and I bring in Cresselia for pretty much the same reason because they're both special defensive walls. I can take pretty much any hit from both the Salamence and the Gastrodon. However, he actually double switches into his Volcarona, predicting my Garchomp switch out, which is really amazing. This means that he can put a lot of offensive pressure on my team because without Garchomp present, he can freely go for the super effective Bug Buzz against both my Ludicolo and my Cresselia. He does go for the Draco Meteor against my Ludicolo. I do live that, which is going to be really important because that means that I can go for at least one attacking move. And I am actually going to go for the Giga Drain against the Salamence, predicting him to bring in the Gastrodon. And this works out really great. I should be able to deal a ton of damage against his Gastrodon as long as his Volcarona targets my Cresselia with the Bug Buzz. And indeed that does happen. Again, I live the hit with 2 HP, so getting really lucky with these damage rolls. and this enables me to go for the Icy Wind to lower both the Gastrodon and the Volcarona's speed. So next turn, I definitely should be able to outspeed the Volcarona with my Cresselia because I do have a lot of speed investment. So unfortunately for me, I do go for the Giga Drain, but he has the Rindo Berry, which powers down the move, meaning that I didn't do as much as I hoped for. So he's going to go for the Protect with the Gastrodon, as I am just going to continually try to go for the Giga Drain to take down the Gastrodon. And then I'm going to go for the Psychic Gem boosted Psyshock to hit the Volcarona. It is boosted, plus Volcarona has really bad physical defense, but he is going to live with red health and take down my Ludicolo before I pull off any sort of hit. So my Ludicolo goes down, and that kind of sucks, but I can bring in another Pokemon. I am going to bring in, let's see, I'm going to bring in my Garchomp because I can abuse the Earthquake, which hits both the Volcarona and the Gastrodon. So this is really nice because I do have Levitate on my Cresselia, and it's going to definitely take down the Volcarona and bring down the Gastrodon at such a low health to a point where an Icy Wind can take down the Gastrodon. And I go for the Icy Wind instead of the Psyshock because if you wanted to switch into a Salamence predicting the Earthquake, it would deal 4 times super effective damage against the Salamence and it would lower its speed. So that was probably the optimal move to choose at that point. So with those series of plays, I kind of reversed the situation. Now he has only the Salamence and the Scizor left, which is pretty good for me because the Salamence I can keep in check with my Garchomp. As long as I don't have the -1 attack on me, I should be able to one-hit KO and outspeed him with the Dragon Claw. And then the Scizor I can manage because once I bring in the Scrafty and activate the Intimidate ability, this Scizor will be at permanently -1 attack as long as he doesn't boost up with the Swords Dance. And even if he does boost up, a +1 Bullet Punch and Bug Bite shouldn't be able to take down my Scrafty in one hit. So he's going to go ahead and take down my Cresselia with the Bullet Punch. That's totally fine. I was actually hoping he would take down my Cresselia so then I can bring in my Garchomp, and then that would be pretty good. And he's going to go for the Draco Meteor against my Scrafty, which doesn't do too much damage because I am specially defensive. It only does around half, and here it is. It's 2-on-2. He's got a full HP Scizor and Salamence. I've got a half HP Scrafty and a Garchomp. He's going to go ahead and protect with his Salamence to try to stall some turns, and then maybe attempt to get some Swords Dances up for free with the Scizor. And that's a pretty good plan, but I do have the Fake Out, so I can flinch the Scizor, and then I can go ahead and go for the Dragon Claw again. He's going to go for the same tactic by going for the Double Protect to try to stall and maybe boost up with the Scizor. It doesn't really work out for him because his Protect fails, and I can take down his Salamence for free. And I am just going to go for the Drain Punch against the Scizor just to deal some damage. It's not going to do much because Scizors are invested in HP, some in defense, so it does around like 20%. He's going to go ahead and go for the Swords Dance. That puts him at +1. I don't think a +1 can kill my Scrafty at this point, and I do have a Focus Sash on my Garchomp. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for the Stone Edge, and the reason why is because I don't want to go for the Earthquake because it hits my Scrafty as well, and I don't want to deal a ton of damage against my own Pokemon, and Dragon Claw's resisted, so Stone Edge is my next best move, and unfortunately I do miss, which puts me in a very bad situation because he pretty much gets a free turn, and you know, that's kind of bad. So I am going to have to predict which one he hits. I'm thinking he wants to kill the Garchomp first, so luckily for me that ends up working because he won't be able to attack my Garchomp with the Protect activated, and then I can hit him with the Drain Punch. So this puts me in a situation where I am going to win no matter what, because whichever Pokemon he kills, I can attack with the other guy and take him out. So he attacks my Scrafty, doesn't take me out, then I can take his Scizor out with the Garchomp. And that is going to be the match. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was an intense VGC match. Hope you guys think it was intense as well. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to leave a like, a favorite, and a comment. And if you haven't joined already, the Pika Crew, feel free to join the Pika Crew by subscribing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the comment questions of the day. Peace out, guys.